what's up, everybody? Hey, time to kick off this Wednesday morning call. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. It's amazing hard to find a good spot at the beach to do a conference call. But I got the airbuds in, so hopefully the wind is not too bad out here for you guys. Couldn't be more excited to kick off this call as we jump into how to win your second half sales target. So, guys, we're halfway through the year. We're just now kicking off the month of July. And I really want to dive into today's call talking about how did you do the first part of the year? And then what do you have to do to catapult? All right, guys. Hey, check it out. Some people can hear me and some people can't. So if you guys could do me a favor, go to the WhatsApp chat. Let me know if you can hear me now or the comments section. See Sylvia's comment. I see Christy's on there. Hopefully, y'all can hear me now. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not. Okay, I got you, Cassie. Okay, thanks, guys. All right. Hey, hopefully this works, right? It's a work in progress here at the beach. But if I cut off on you guys again, just put it in the comment section on YouTube because I can see that. For some reason, I can't see the other section there, but no idea where you guys lost me at. So, hey, I'll just kick it off from the top, right? But jumping into the second half of this year and talking about running to a new height, I really want you guys to go into the second half of this year being optimistic, energetic, and excited, right? Guys, it doesn't matter, what you did the first half of the year, whether it was good, whether it was bad, it doesn't matter, right? Starting today, let's pretend all of us are at zero for this year, and we just have a choice to make to run to the rest of this year to hit our new goals and to hit what we're running for, right? So, God can do amazing things for you in your life in just a very short amount of time if you attack your day with the right attitude, right? And the right way of going about things. So, jumping into this call, guys. Uh, some people are saying they can hear, can't hear. I don't know. Hey, I'm just gonna keep talking, and hopefully you guys could hear me. But I want you guys to think back to the first half of this year. Did you hit your goal so far? 6 months in. And if you didn't, if you do the same activity and the same effort, the same schedule, you're going to get the same results that you've gotten the first 6 months of the year. For a lot of us, that might be awesome, right? We're on track to hit a record year. But for some of us, if we seem to struggle this first half of the year, you got to change what you're doing. So my first point in today's call for you guys on how to hit your goal the second half of the year is to reevaluate the effort, the activity, and the attitude that you had the first 6 months. Because those three things are what got you to this point. And if that's good, keep it rolling. If that's bad, it's so quick, you can just change it like that. Right. So reevaluate those three things: effort, attitude, and activity. Those are the three things to think about. If you do the same thing, guys, if you're going into the next 6 months of this year and you invest the same amount of money into leads, you talk to the same amount of people every single week, you present to the same amount, you're going to get the same result. And I remember being a newer agent about 6 months in thinking, I need to get a better result. So I'm going to have to change up what I'm doing to get in front of more people. My biggest problem back then, and I was probably writing or not writing, but net issuing, 15 to $20,000 a month. Income was probably 12 to 15,000 a month at that in that range. And I remember thinking like I'm just not talking to enough people, right? Like if I wanted to double that level, if I wanted to hit a 30K month in production or an income, all I had to do was sit down with double the amount of people. At that time, I was presenting to probably 12 people a week, 12 to 15, depending on the week. And I knew that if I could just double that, I would double my results for the second half of the year. So what did I do? I changed up, right? I bought a lot more leads. I worked a little bit longer. I set appointments, which is something I did not do before that, and it took my income, it doubled it the very next month. So think about that, guys. Sometimes the missing link, it's not your presentation, it's not the leads, it's not the door approach, it's not the phone approach, it's not anything other than you just need to add some tools to what you're doing. If you're not setting appointments, set them. If you're not texting your clients, right, text them. If you don't have a active integrity lead campaign where you're getting new leads coming in every single week, start that up, right? Don't just keep relying on age leads. If you make small changes, it can really catapult your business to the next level. Builders, recruiters, if you're looking at what your team has done so far this year, think about how many interview calls do you schedule in a given week. If you just double that, it will double your team production in 6 months. It'll double your agency in 6 months, right? Probably will do more than that. But it all comes down to what activity are you doing? And if you do the same activity, you're going to get the same result. You're going to be in the same spot in 12 months, 6 months, versus if you just switch it up a little bit, you're going to start seeing those results change. Okay, let's talk about chargebacks, guys. Maybe you're looking back on your year so far and your persistency's 70%. Guys, one of the fastest way to increase your income to double your income the next 6 months of the year is to just retain more clients that you write. How do you do that? Maybe you send them a text message before the draft comes out. Hey, Miss Betty, just a reminder, your draft's coming out, right? So small things, guys, is what's going to allow you to hit your goal for the second half of this year. So many of you are on track to hit the Scotland trip. I think we're going to have to get 2 hotels for Scotland, right? But all of you can qualify for that. Even if you're a brand new agent and this is your very first month here at FFA, you can hit that number, right? Just backtrack it. You've got 6 months left. This is what you need to hit. How many people is that you need to talk to? So it's such an exciting time of the year, guys. But check it out. July is the month. July and August, right? The summer months are the months that separate agents. It's the agents that actually run during the summer and then hit the top of the leaderboard, hit agent of the year, hit the trips, qualify for everything. And sometimes in the summer months, it's when people tend to slow down a little bit, right? And you got to be careful because the summer months are the best months to sell. right? It's daylight out longer. People are in a better mood. They're out of the winter hole. The cold weather's gone. It's the best time of the year to hit your goals. You just have to be focused on it and be intentional with what you're running to do. So, second point for you guys on hitting your second half of the sales goal is call it out there to the world, right? You only have so many months, so many years, so many opportunities to build the life that you want to have for your family. And guys, what you do today is what's going to give you that in a month from now, and 2 months from now, and 3 months from now. You might not see it, but all the little activity that you're putting in, all right, is going to get you where you want to go. So I want you to, like this, over July 4th, the weekend, everything, think about that. Talk to if you're married, talk to your spouse. All right. If you're not, hey, look at what you want your life to look like. Right. And realize you have to be urgent to hit those things. You can't just expect them to happen. And in the second half of this year, guys, you can't just expect the production to fall in your lap. You can't expect the income, the deposits, the commissions to fall into your lap. If you want to build an agency, you can't expect the agents to fall into your lap, right? You have to be a hunter in this business, and you have to go down and track down all of those things and keep that as your focus, right? So hitting the second half sales target for you or for your team is really simple when you keep it simple, right? You guys have heard us say this all the time. It's not an easy business, but it's a very simple one. You talk to enough people, you have enough leads, you're going to get this result. You talk to enough potential new hires, you bring on this many, you're going to get this result for your team growth. You just have to be focused on hitting it. Okay. I want to talk to you guys about something that will stop you from hitting your goal for the second half of this year, right? I think we all know what we need to do to hit it, but sometimes there's a block. There's something that's preventing us from actually hitting the target, from hitting the goal that we set for ourselves. And what is that? It's limiting belief for a few different reasons. Sometimes we limit our belief because we think we're not worthy to actually get what we're running to get. Sometimes we limit our belief because we feel like we're not confident enough, all right, to hit that. Sometimes we limit ourselves with just excuses that just don't make sense, right? I'm tall, I'm short, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a boy, I'm a girl. It doesn't, whatever it is, right? We limit ourselves for no reason. So I want you guys to think about what the next 6 months of your career looks like, right? I want to give KZ a shout out. KZ, I think when she was sending numbers, right? She's already got like 13, 14,000 that she knows is going to net place in the month of July. She's keeping track of all that stuff, right? She's not limiting her belief, her setup, right? So for you guys as agents, one of the things I see agents struggle with the most, the reason agents don't hit their goal for the week or for the year is just because they limit their beliefs. They don't think that they should get what they're running to get, and it in turn makes them stay stuck. So I'm a big believer that when God has called you to do something and you actually start moving in the direction to do what he's called you to do, the enemy just wants to put a total roadblock in front of that, right? Total, you're gonna hit total roadblock. And the biggest roadblock that he puts in people is mental. It's a mental roadblock that limits yourself, limits your activity, limits the amount of hustle you're willing to put in, limits your energy level, right? And so you have to be careful and you have to identify those roadblocks to get to the next step, to hit your second half goal, to actually finish the year where you wanted to be at, right? And so limiting beliefs, guys, are something that are just false. They're not true, right? It's the enemy putting a little nugget in your head to throw you off the course. And they come up in different ways, right? Maybe you have a health complication come up. Maybe you have a personal issue outside of work come up. Maybe whatever it is, right? It's a limiting belief that he uses to prevent you from actually experiencing the prosperity, the joy, the fulfillment that God wants you to have. And one thing I love about this career is every day, guys, we get to go out and help clients who desperately need our help. And in turn, get to build a life that is not 9 to 5 related, right? You get to write your own paycheck every single day. And every single day that you open up that bank account and you see what that deposit looks like or that balance looks like, it's a direct reflection of the effort and the belief that you have in yourself putting into this job. And so if you're looking at the first half of this year, and you're looking at that balance, you're like, dang, I really wish that thing was higher right now. It shows you the first half of this year, you've been limiting yourself, right? The second half of this year, don't do that. Take the chains off of you. There's no chains that should be on you right now, right? So don't put them on yourself. So limiting beliefs, guys, you got to be careful. They creep in and they really stop you when you're gaining traction. And if you want to hit the second half goal for yourself, you got to be aware of that and kick them out of the way and try not to come up. And here's a key for you: you're not alone. Every agent in this business, I think every person in life, not just in insurance, has this issue of limiting beliefs kicking off. And so you're not alone with it, right? But it's you got to identify that. It's a tool the enemy uses to prevent you from having the life God actually intended you to have. And if you're trying to run towards what you feel like he's calling you to do, that enemy is going to try to suck you back, try to suck you in so that you can't actually do that. Ignore it. It's just like an objection that you guys get at the house. All right. If you're looking at the second half of this year and you're like, hey, I made $100,000 so far this year. The second half, I want to double it and make 200. You can do that. Guys, there's people here doing that. You have the opportunity to do that. There's no chains on you, right? You just have to believe in that. You have to not doubt, right? One of my favorite verses is the verse where Jesus was walking, right? And there was a fig tree, and he like cursed the fig tree and it totally shriveled up. And then he looked at somebody and said, if you believe and pray without having doubt, not only could you do that, but you also could move mountains, right? You could say to this mountain, hey, go into the sea, and it would go. How many of us actually live our life not doubting him like that, though? Right, guys? If you're looking at your bank balance and you're like, man, my rent's due, this is due, how am I going to pay for it? You're doubting, you're not having faith, right? And if you can have faith, all right, and not doubt, ask for his help, you're gonna have the second half of the year like you want to have. You're gonna hit the target that you set for yourself this year. You just got to stay the course, be consistent, and not doubt. And I know it's hard, right? It's hard for me every now and then too, right? Sometimes you just tend to fall into this doubting situation, but you don't have to, right? Think back to that verse and think about what's actually possible if you believe to that extent without doubting anything. All right. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys on as we wrap up this call for hitting your second half goal is attitude. I know it's something I mentioned in the beginning of this call, but guys, your attitude is going to dictate the destination that you get to in this career. 100% of the time, if you're negative, if you're pessimistic, if you're complaining about the leads not answering the phones or complaining about whatever the case is, you will not end up hitting your goal for the year. But if you're optimistic, if you're willing to find a way to win versus finding a reason to lose, you'll hit that goal. So your attitude is everything as a business owner and as an agent. Guys, you don't have the opportunity, right, to clock in, clock out, and get paid. You have to go out every single day, starting the day at zero, and write your own check. And that could be the biggest blessing to you or the biggest curse if you don't have the right attitude when it comes down to it. So It's something that you have to mentally prepare for. Every single day that you guys wake up, that check is blank. And you get to write a number on that for what you want to pay yourself for that day. And whatever number you hit is the number that you think you're worth. All right. And I know that that might sound a little bit harsh, but it's so true. If you don't give it your all today, then you're telling yourself you're only worth this amount. You're only worth this amount of effort. Better yet, if you have a family, you're telling your spouse that they're only worth this amount of effort. You're telling your kids that they're only worth this number to you if you have the wrong attitude going into this job and into this career. There's no reason that you shouldn't wake up every single day hungry, eager, and willing to go out and get it, whether it's knocking on the doors, making the phone calls. Guys, nothing is coming to you for free. You have to put the blood, sweat, and tears into your business if you want it to grow, right? Money's not just going to fall down from the sky. At least I don't expect it to. The only thing out here that's falling down from the sky is rain in a little bit. You have to create that for yourself. All right. It's just like the meme that I posted in WhatsApp a while back. It was a guy holding a shovel, and it was like the guy's goal was to dig a hole, and God gave him a shovel, but he was just standing there not doing anything with it, wondering why God didn't give him the hole, right? And the guy's holding the shovel. You got to put the work in. God's giving you the opportunity. He's giving you the health. He's giving you the power, right, to go out and create the life that you want to have for yourself. Don't just sit there idle with a shovel, not working for it. All right. So having the right attitude is everything in this business. Okay. You get to go out there every single day with the attitude of, I'm going to find a way to win, or I'm going to find a reason to lose. And you can only pick the second choice so much before you don't make it as a business owner, right? You got to find a reason to win and not find a reason to lose, right? You guys heard uh, Monday's call, right? You heard Kaylee talk about how when she was driving home, she was like, "Okay, I had a good day, right? But man, there's this house I've never been able to get in front of. It was 4 o'clock. Kaylee, right, is married. She has a spouse at home. She has a little girl at home. She could have just drove home, right, and been home by 5, but she thought, I'm gonna go swing by this last house that I've never been able to get in front of, and it was a $5,000 house. Talk about having the right attitude, right? What if she just went home? Right? What if she found a reason to lose that day versus a reason to win? That's the difference between hitting your second half goal and not hitting it is the attitude that you go into every single day. All right. And so you got to have that on, guys. You got to have the mentality of, I don't care one thing I love agents tell me, and I know some of you have told me this that are watching this. So if you think I'm beating you up a little bit, I am. Agents who tell me, hey, I knocked on 15 doors today, nobody answered, and I didn't get anything. I'm like, dude, you have 8, 10 hour workday. How do you only knock on 15 door? I could do that in 30 minutes, right? If nobody's answering the door, I could knock on 15 doors in 30 minutes. How did you only do that? Right? Guys, that's because I'm finding a reason to win. I'm not gonna knock on 15 if 15 don't answer. I'm gonna knock on 50 and I promise you, I will find somebody at home within 2 hours, right? I don't care if I have to park my car and just block knock everybody that has a car in their driveway. I'm going to find a way to win. Not finding a way to win is your choice. And if you do that, you're not going to make it. So I want you guys to have success. And the best way to do that is to have the attitude of, I don't care what's thrown at me. I'm going to find a way to win. My appointment stands me up that promised me they were going to be there this morning. No big deal. I'm going to go knock the neighbor's house, right? Miss Betty charges back. No big deal. I'm not going to let it throw me off my course for the day. I'm going to go out, sell 3 new people today, right? I'm out of leads. I'm low on money. What am I going to do? I'm going to buy more leads and go make more money, right? So, guys, always find a way to win. It's your choice. And the hard part about this business is nobody can make that choice for you but yourself. Your coach can't do it. Your coach can coach you, teach you, push you, but man, if you don't have hunger, they can't eat for you, right? You got to go get it. So that's a choice that you have to make. And every single day, you got to go home to your loved ones, or even if it's just to yourself, that's no big deal. Even to yourself, and this is the hardest part about this, and really ask yourself, did I put in the effort today that would reflect the life that I want to have? And if that answer is no, then change it, right? Stop going every single day, not giving yourself your all, because you deserve your all, right? You should finish this day totally exhausted. I promise you guys, if you go the next 6 months, every single day you push yourself to the max and you go home, or you end the phone calls, the dials, totally exhausted, you will have the biggest 6 months of your career. All right, but don't be comfortable. Got to embrace the suck a little bit, suffer in silence, right? And just run if you want to hit your second half goal. So I know this call was all over the place, guys, because this is like glitching, and sometimes you can hear me, sometimes you can't. But hopefully, you got a little bit of that, and it motivates you and helps you to go out and win the second half of your year. This is the last call for this week because Friday is July 4th. So no call on Friday, but we will be back here on Monday. I hope everybody has an amazing 4th of July weekend. I hope you stay safe. You get to enjoy some time with your family and get to just enjoy this beautiful country that we get to call home. So I appreciate you guys for jumping on here, and let's go finish the week out strong. And I want you guys to go to WhatsApp, drop your goal for the week in the chat, and let's run to hit it. And we will be back here on Monday.